Good evening from Groovy Eggs Farm. I am Jeff. We are going to go back in time all the way to last year for this video. Yes, it has been a while for videos. You will see why here in the next few videos. I am busier than I think I've ever been in my entire life. This has been a struggle. Good riddance to 2022. So this was before Christmas. We had a big winter storm coming in, and I picked up some hay bales. Actually, they were delivered to me, which was wonderful. Thank you, neighbors. And with the big winter storm, there was supposed to be snow and ice and rain. The chickens do okay in cold weather. They're perfectly fine in cold weather. Typically, it depends on what breed of chicken you have. There's a breed of chicken from Iceland. There are breeds of chicken from Sweden, cold weather climates. Then you have breeds of chicken, down Central America, close to the equator, and Indonesia, close to the equator. So it depends on the breed as to how winter hardy the chickens will be. Mine are pretty winter hardy. So the cold weather really doesn't affect them. What affects them is the snow and the ice and the wind, especially the snow and the ice. The wetness, they can handle the cold, but the cold and the wet on their feet all day, that can create frostbite situations on their feet. And that is just no fun for anybody. So having this hay was really necessary to help protect the chickens from this winter storm that we had going. Normally I would carry those all the way back to that brooder tent, but I don't have the energy. I do not have the energy because I'm going all day, every day, and all night, every night. But I did get one of them back there, and it can stay in there. I will cut it open there. 2 little strands, and then I got that little blue tote, and I've used it enough times. I know if I stuff that blue tote full, that will cover the ground in one of the hoop coops. So here I am preparing for the winter storm. And I went through 2 of those bales of hay. I probably filled up and carried and lugged around probably 15 or so of those blue totes. You can see how many coops are in this shot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 6th one back there. There's 7 back there. There's 7 hoop coops. Just in this one shot alone. And so that's preparing for the winter storm just wore me out. Extra trips back and forth and uphill both ways over rocks. Luckily the snow and ice hadn't started yet. But those 2 flocks back there, I got youngsters in the front one, and then some youngsters and some adults in the back one. And just trying to keep their feet, nice and dry so that the cold and the wet does not interfere, and give them frostbite or any type of feet problems. And because that can spell doom for a chicken if they can't walk around. And you can see we're getting close to dark here. I had one more to do. I didn't film all of them because I ain't got time for that. All I've had time for the past few months is just, I did have time to stop and look at this nice little pigeon thing. It's got a ring on its neck. Does that make it a ringneck pigeon? Oh, there it goes. Speaking of birds flying away, this coop needs some repairs. It's empty. I don't have a flock in there, but I want to put a flock in there. So I actually went into town to buy a tarp, and I saw Drew and honked at him while I was driving by. But the hardware store did not have my size. I use a 12 foot by 16 foot tarp on these, and they didn't have it. So I knew I had this one available. I also knew it wasn't big enough, but it is big enough to do a patch job real quick. I wanted this coop, fixed up and ready before the storm because there were supposed to be high winds. And that's one thing. If one of those tarps on the coop, gets ripped to shred in the high winds, and I've got a flock in there, well, you got nowhere to put them. So I wanted to make sure that this coop was ready for the storms. So in case of a tarp blowing away, I would have a place to put them. All right, time for some dinner. What was that? Some ground pork. Throw some, looks like a can of mushrooms in there. Oh yeah, I made a big old batch of spaghetti sauce. And I use macaroni a lot of times. And we called it goulash. It's just, spaghetti sauce and macaroni with some meat and some mushrooms. And I like to make it a big batch of that. All right, here comes the winter storm. 9:49 a.m. is 42 degrees outside. 10:31 a.m. it was 40 degrees outside. 10:48 a.m. it was 33 degrees outside. It was going down fast. You're seeing it. 12:48 p.m. 26 degrees outside. 1:37 p.m. 21 degrees outside. That's when all my water froze. That's how fast it went. 2:30 p.m. it was 18 degrees outside. And 3:35 p.m. it was 14 degrees outside. Nice 75 inside with my 80 degrees inside there. 4:37 p.m. 11 degrees outside. I was outside working. There you go. 6 o'clock at dark. It was 9 degrees outside. 79 inside because of my wood stove. Uh-oh. Here's Bob. Bob, you can't pester me when I'm making videos. Yeah, it was very nice when it was 9 degrees outside. Fire up that wood stove. Bob loved it. I loved it. That just added more time and energy out of my day that I did not have any extra of. But yes, I did not get a chance to turn on my kitchen sink and let the water run before it froze because I was outside, taking care of the chickens all day. So, my house was frozen on Christmas Day. All I wanted for Christmas was running water, but I did not get my wish. So the 2 days before Christmas, and then Christmas Day, and then finally the afternoon on the day after Christmas was when my water finally thawed. The well house did not freeze. I've got a nice heater in there, nice insulation. So the well house froze, and this is my sand filter. It's a 2-chamber sand filter. And so the pump was still running, so the sand filter was still filling up with water. It's a really big reservoir, that's, I don't know how deep it is. Drew can stand in it, that's how deep it is. So I had plenty of water, I just had to dip into the reservoir to get it. And then it was, what do I have, 14 different groups of chickens that all needed water. I used some of the small baby chick waterers. They're smaller and they go through the water faster, but they go through it before it freezes, and it was just more work on me. So those days it was hauling water to the chickens, and then on the 3 really cold days, by the time I got to the last flock, the water of the first flock had already frozen over. So it was just constantly walking around and breaking up the ice so that the chickens had water. One thing in these really cold conditions, it's usually very, very dry, and the chickens can dehydrate pretty quickly. So they need access. They need access to water. So that's I push myself physically, I think, harder than I probably have since I was on the 8th grade basketball team. And even then, that was only a couple hours, 5 days a week. This has just been non-stop. And there's a light coming at the end of the tunnel. I do hope. But it was not during this winter storm over Christmas. So yeah, the house froze. I kind of figured it would. It gets down to 5 degrees with a wind chill like that, and we just redid my pipes, so I know there's the only way you can't insulate them. The only way is to add heat when it's 1 degrees. I think was the lowest it got. So you have to do hundreds and hundreds of dollars of heat tape, and I can't get under the house to do it myself. So it was this winter. It's just having to deal with the frozen pipes. And if I'd have kept the water running in the kitchen, I think I'd have been all right. But it just snuck on me so fast, and it happened during the day, and not usually you turn it on before you go to sleep at night, and it doesn't get down to freezing until after you're in bed. But this time it dropped from 41 degrees to 21 degrees during the day over the course of a couple hours. And I just did not have time to get inside and make sure that my water was taken care of. So that was my fault. I'll know to hit it, get the water running earlier next time. And that's the end of this video. So I've got more videos coming. Thanks for watching. Thanks for everything. And you'll be seeing a few more videos really quickly. Just all I can do is point the camera, turn it on, and then go work, because that's all I've been doing. That's all I've had time for. Usually I don't have to work every single night for a couple hours after dark, but I have been having to do that the past couple months, and I just do not have the time. And when I do have the time, I don't have the energy. I need to go sleep. Good riddance, 2022. Although 2023 hasn't been any less busy yet. Alright, enough of this. I will see you in the next video. Some exciting things in that video. They're going to be out of order. That's alright. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, everybody. I know I need to take it easy. I haven't even had a half a day to take it easy since Thanksgiving.